What's up, guys, and welcome to the training on how to fix your own credit for free. I'm Michael, owner of MJM Credit Consultants. I am really excited for you because not only did you take the time to download the free guide, you also are taking the time to watch the video, which already shows me you're different from most people. You're actually trying to put the work in to fix your own credit, and I know you're not like most people that try to fix their credit for a month or two and then just stop and say, yeah, I tried to fix my credit, it doesn't work. I did it for about a month or two. It's BS. So I know that's not you guys. I know you know the time it takes to actually work on your credit and fix it. So again, congrats, you're on the right track. I started MJM Credit Consultants because I always had a good credit score and a good credit report. I always stumbled at the fact that a lot of people I talked to couldn't get approved for things. For example, I was always into cars like Hellcats and things like that. And most of the people I talked to couldn't get approved for a Hellcat, or they couldn't even get good rates because their credit was bad. My father also struggled with his credit. I actually ended up helping him. He had a lot of collections and negative items on his credit score, so he ended up being my first client. I was able to improve his score to the 740s by removing the negative items, as well as also helping him add the positive items that he needed. So I started doing that for more people, and the results have just really been speaking for themselves since then. Credit is super important, guys. It's literally life-changing. People are literally getting denied for homes, literally shelter, because of their bad credit. That's why it's my mission to help people learn about credit, educate them, and also help them improve their credit score so they can actually get that dream home, dream car, whatever it may be, because of their good credit. So let's dive into the first step. Number one is understanding the credit report. So to start working on improving your credit, the first thing you want to do is first understand what you're looking at. If you pull up your credit reports, the things you want to look at are how many accounts you have open, how many derogatory or delinquent items you have like collections or charge-offs, your payment history percentage, and your utilization percentage. The last thing would be the credit age. So you want a proper 750 plus credit score. What do I mean by that? So a lot of people have 700 plus credit scores, but they're really just as bad as people with 500s and 600s because their report is not built out the way a 700 credit score should be built out. So you can easily get a 700 credit score by just having a few things on it, but just having one or two accounts is not going to help you getting approved for a house, a nice car, or anything like that, which is why it's important to not only have a good credit score, but to also have that credit report built out. So the goal is to have at least 10 accounts with a proper credit mix, no late payments that are open, and a decent age. You want to have at least 10 accounts open because you guys have to look at it from a point of view of the banks. Are they going to trust to give a 200K loan to somebody with a 500 credit score with a bunch of late payments, charge-offs, collections, several negative items? Or are they going to trust somebody with a 750 plus credit score with several open accounts that have high limits? I'm talking credit cards that are 15, 20K, 8K. They have no late payments whatsoever, excellent payment history. They've been open for 5 to 6 years. Like, you start to see, like, just from me saying all that, you start to see, like, wow, I feel comfortable giving that dude 200K because I know I'm going to make my money back on interest, and I know my money's not going to be lost in collections or having to be written off. You know what I'm saying? So that's why banks look at credit scores and credit reports, because all it is a factor of trust. If they see you have a 500 credit score, it's mainly because you can't be trusted because they know you're not going to make those payments on time. Let's say you have changed, but your credit score doesn't reflect that, and you can't make those payments. You still got to work on getting that credit score up, which is why it's so important. And like I told you guys at the beginning, it's my mission to help people improve their credit scores. Because maybe you had a situation a couple years ago where you were in a tough spot and now you change and you are able to get that loan, but your credit score is not letting you. That's why it's important to start building it out, because like I said, the banks, man, it's all about trust. I like to always give this saying: the banks like to see that you can manage your money before they lend you money, right? So all that means is literally what it says is, if they see you've managed 50K to 100K properly before, no late payments, it's been paid on time, excellent payment history, they're going to be pretty confident that you can handle a 200K loan. So number two is removing negative items, guys. So now that we understand what to look for on our credit report and what we want at the end of this on our credit report, now the important thing is to see what we need to remove from our credit report, which will be those negative items. So the DIY kit I provided for you guys will teach you how to literally dispute these collections, charge-offs, inquiries, all of the above. Any negative item that's affecting you, it's going to show you how to dispute those. So the reason you can remove these negative items, for you guys that were wondering, is because it's literally a federal law that was enacted all the way back in 1970, right? So the law was built to help consumers, and it basically states that anything that's not 100% accurate or 100% verifiable on your credit report needs to be removed. So how does that help you, right? So millions of Americans, almost 80% of them, have inaccurate information on their credit report. So because a lot of Americans have inaccurate information on their credit report, we can use that law to work on disputing those negative items. So you guys got that guide. I'm basically going to go over and show you guys how to use it, right? So First things first, you want to start with the very first round. So in the first round, you will ask for the credit bureaus to try to verify your negative items. Usually in this round, you might get some items deleted. If you don't worry, most items will get deleted in later rounds anyways. So in the second round, what you're gonna do is you're gonna demand reinvestigation. So anything that didn't come off in the first round, the second round is gonna be to retarget that and try to get it removed. And now it's round 3 and the credit bureaus are probably saying that your negative items have been verified. And because they're saying that they have been verified, it's probably why they haven't been removed yet. The third round letter is basically gonna be for any negative item that came back as verified and didn't come off. It's gonna basically say, hey, show me proof of how you even verified this, right? And I'll give you an example. If someone said they transferred 100K to your bank account after owing you money for months and it hasn't gotten into your bank account after 10 to 20 days, I'm gonna be asking that person, hey, where's the proof, brother, that you sent me that, that money that you owe me, right? So it's the same thing. How is the credit bureau going to say it's verified? They didn't send you no proof. Someone could literally type back or write back to you, verified. And there was literally no documentation for it, which is why it's super important and you have to use the law. The law literally states, guys, if it's not 100% verifiable or 100% accurate, it has to be removed. So we know it's not accurate, and if they haven't been sending nothing, it's probably not verifiable either. So you want to keep pushing. You got to be very aggressive. So now it's round 4. If you got to round 4, the template you're going to want to use is basically a harsh and escalated dispute to the credit bureaus, demanding that they remove these items from your report. The reason we're sending a more harsh and demanding letter is because they still haven't sent proof all the way back in the 3rd round. So if it's round 5 and you still haven't seen any items removed whatsoever, you're not going to demand and threaten them that you're going to do a complaint. You can submit complaints with the CFPB, the FTC, or the Better Business Bureau. You can even do it with the Attorney General or any place you can really think of. This strategy works really well because they don't want to complain against them because it can end up costing them fines, so they most of the times end up removing these negative items after you say that. So if you got on round 6 and you remove most of the items, but you still have some items that haven't been removed and you know they're still inaccurate, you might want to start getting in contact with a consumer law attorney. The reason is because you probably want to push those complaints a little bit further. But most of the times by the 6th round, you can see most items be removed. Number 3 is going to be adding positive items, guys. So now we're at step 3 in adding positive items. You ideally want to start at the same time you start removing the negative items, right? You want to do both so you see the best results as fast as possible. So what is a positive item? A positive item is anything like a credit card, a loan, a mortgage, a credit builder account. Those are good positive items to have. So usually I recommend getting started with secured credit cards because typically if you have poor credit, you can put your collateral, which is your money down to get your credit limit, and that will help you add that new positive account. You don't want to be applying for unsecured credit cards with a 500, 600 credit score because you're probably going to waste the inquiry on yourself and get denied right away. Most of the times when you apply for unsecured credit cards, you want at least above a 680, 690 for better chances of getting approved. If you can get some credit builder accounts that are relatively cheap, like Kickoff or Self, those will also help you a lot. Most people don't have $200 or $300 to put down right out the gate. For example, let's say you want to get started today or this month adding positive items, but you didn't have $200 or $300 to put down to a secured credit card. You can start with Self or Kickoff, and they're really good because they're going to start helping you add positive payments, add credit age, as well as lower your utilization, which all 3 of those make up a big factor of your credit score. So what you don't want to do is get all these positive accounts and end up just turning them into negative items. So let's say, for example, you got that secured credit card and you missed a payment or 2 or 3, then you just made that good account that you just added go to waste because you missed an account. So when you're going through this process, guys, you want to make sure you're dedicated and stick to your goals of not missing any payments, paying everything down as much as possible. Because let's say you got that secured credit card and you didn't have any late payments, but you still maxed it out at 90%, 100% utilization. That account is not helping you no more, right? The account is going to help you if it's under 10% utilization. 30% utilization is still going to be good. But if it's under 10% utilization, that's typically the goal you want to have, anywhere between 1 to 10%. Let's say you have 5 to 7 new secured credit cards that you added on to your just 2 accounts that you had previously. If those 5 to 7 secure credit cards have a 10% utilization compared to accounts that have 80 or 90% utilization, it's going to help you way more simply for the fact that utilization weighs so heavy. It's 30% of your credit score, guys. Never forget that. 30% is a huge chunk. So let's say you have 4 positive accounts and some collections. You would start working on removing the collections by disputing them, as well as trying to add 6 more positive accounts. Because remember, try to get to a minimum of 10 positive accounts. So doing this combo will reduce the number of negative accounts that you have, as well as add more positive accounts, which will in turn boost your payment history percentage, reduce utilization, add credit mix, and over time have more aged accounts. So step number 4, guys, is consistent credit monitoring. It's important to monitor your credit every month. I literally stay on Experian or Identity IQ almost every other week to see what has changed with my credit score. It also helps in seeing if anything looks suspicious. If you got a new inquiry, anything like that, fraud, it'll give you alerts most of the times depending on what type of account you have, which is really good to know what's going on with your credit report. Because let's say you got 10 new inquiries, but you haven't been to a dealership or anything like that in months. That just is a red flag that you're getting your identity stolen. And if you are in the process of disputing your negative items, you definitely need something like Identity IQ or Experian to be checking your credit reports every 35 days to see what has changed. Because how are you going to be sending new disputes every 35 days if you're not checking your credit reports? You get what I'm saying? It also helps in monitoring because let's say you got those secure credit cards. Sometimes they're not added the first month. They might be added the second month. So you want to see when they're added to see how it's helping your credit score out. So as you guys can see, this credit repair stuff is a lot of work. You might be trying to spend time with your family, friends, relax, chill. You've been working 40, 50, 60-hour weeks and now you gotta do this credit repair stuff on top of it. It can be a lot, I understand. But you have to ask yourself, how important is your goal of buying your house or buying your dream car? How important is that to you? Credit is the key to getting that dream house, dream car, and taking the steps that I mentioned before will help you get to above a 700 credit score. If you guys do nothing or are lazy or not dedicated, you will never get there because the simple fact is you always need to put in work to get the best results. I'm the type of person when I try to do something like, for example, get a haircut, I'm going to drive to my professional barber that can get it done in about 30 to 45 minutes and do it right, which is why I pay him 80 bucks every time I get my haircut. As you can see, I need a haircut bad right now, which is why I'm talking about a barber. So basically, like I said, guys, I want it done quick and I want it done right, which is why I go for a professional that can do it for me. So if you're serious about improving your credit score but don't think you'll be able to look over hours of your credit reports, then go off, write the disputes, then send off the dispute letters, and then check it again every month and do it all over again, or simply don't want to and want it all done for you, go ahead and book your free consultation with us at MJM Credit Consultants, where we will provide you that free consultation to look over your credit reports, provide you a game plan, analyze that credit report from top down, and let you know what you need to do to improve your credit score, and we'll offer you that game plan step by step of what we can help you with. Guys, if you watched the video all the way through, I know you're serious about improving your credit score, so go ahead and book down below to speak with us today about how we can help you achieve those goals. Talk soon, guys.